CKMP is a place we typically visit under meters of snow and searching out fresh powder in the most unique and remote locations. But for today, we're in beautiful British Columbia during the late summer to experience a new product from Can-Am and truly put the Maverick Sport 60-inch to the test. With all hands on deck, we were able to speak directly with JJ Rivette, Can-Am's side-by-side product manager, about this impressive new product and precisely where Can-Am sees it fitting in to their impressive off-road lineup.
So the Maverick Sport and Maverick Trail have many similarities. If you look at the interior of the vehicle and the frame itself, it's the same thing, but there's some differentiating factors. One of those is it's not just a vehicle that we added 60-inch wider arms on. There's a lot of calibration that went into it. We know that people that like to do trail riding, they want to have fun, and it allows for a little bit of oversteer while being very predictable in the handling. To have as much fun as possible while being optimal and predictable in the driving. So the key differentiators, the width as we talked about. There's also the fact that the Maverick Sport is featuring Fox shocks, HPG shocks, and we developed a premium door for the vehicle. The door is wider than on the trail, allowing for the driver and passenger to have 2.5-inch more elbow room on each side, and that does a really big difference. But also, it wasn't just about being allowing to have more space. Design perspective, the line of sight matches the vehicle, and the ergonomics, whether it's the handle on the outside or the handle where you're riding in the vehicle, are very ergonomically designed. And we also added a seal to it. You close the door, it's nice and tight. There's no rattle from it, and it protects from having water enter the vehicle. So going wider allowed us to have some better ground clearance. So on the Maverick Trail, we have 10 inches, and on the Maverick Sport, we have 12. And 2 inches may sound not as a big number, but when you're going out and you're riding in some very rocky terrain, you can attack some pretty big rocks, and you never get any scrubbing under the vehicle. Suspension travel was improved, so we have 12 in the rear, 11.5 inches in the front, doing a big difference in absorbing those shocks and keeping the vehicle nice and stable and making sure you have good handling. A big part of the story is not just having that suspension travel, but it's combining the longer wheelbase, and that allows for much better predictable handling as you're driving. So it's 1 year maintenance free to allow people to really go out riding and minimize the cost of ownership. In research, we found it was a priority. Lots of people like to do the maintenance on their own. The engineering team made sure that all the access points, the maintenance items that need to be done on a more regular basis can be easily accessed to and done at home by the average do-it-yourselfer.
Can-Am is a company who's focused on performance and fun, but they haven't forgot about those of us who like to do our own upkeep and maintenance, and I really feel like there's an open ear to the consumer, and instead of telling us what we need, they're asking us what we want, and I think that is going to pay off huge.
So Maverick Sport, we offer it in 2 packages. So we have a standard package and we have a DPS version also. The standard package is available in a 1000 engine delivering 75 horsepower, where the DPS version is available in that 1000 and 1000R delivering 100 HP. And really the difference between the two is the DPS version features the Can-Am dynamic power steering, which customers really appreciate. We were able to keep a very good balance in order to have enough assistance, but keep that sporty feeling when you're driving. And also the DPS version has painted panels on it for a more premium look. LED signature on it because Maverick Sport, just like the Trail, and the Maverick X3, they're all Maverick, so we need to have that distinct signature on it with the lines, the lights, and then the LED signature on the more premium models. And also features some stitching in the interior. And we have the intelligent throttle control, on the DPS version that has 2 modes. So we have a Eco mode and a Sport mode. And the difference between those two is that the Eco mode is 70% of the power that you have access to. So really what it gives, you have more travel on your gas pedal, so that when you're going in tough conditions, you don't get that vehicle rocking as much as you would. It's more to have a stable ride. It's nice when you have a passenger or when you're going in very tough terrain.
JJ is a really interesting guy, and he truly understands what side-by-side riding is all about. After talking about the comfort, the power, and the performance, there's nothing more than I wanted to do than break out of the closed course riding area and really go put the Maverick Sport to the test. And when you're in the beautiful mountains of British Columbia, how could we not?
So I put some seat time in on the new Maverick Sport 60-inch wide. Today I'm running the 1000R version, so we're at 100 horsepower. This thing's been designed for 60-inch wide. They've changed a whole bunch of stuff. The doors, there's 5.2 inches more room. The cockpit is the Ergolock cockpit, so I fit in here really nice. There's no hard edges, there's no sharp stuff to contact your knees, or you're not bumping into anything. The seat is planted, it feels nice, it doesn't rattle or shake around. I'm really impressed with the power of the 1000R. It's putting it to the ground in a way that feels very linear and smooth. If you want it to go through the rocks, just put it in eco mode or, crawl over the trees. It kind of gives you that nice modulated input. So the power steering is, I would say, slightly on the more stiff side, and I prefer that because when I'm going fast, the last thing I want is a twitchy steering wheel. The drive-by-wire throttle system, they've really cleaned this thing up. It's not jumpy anymore. It's like they've smoothed out that input curve and made it so you're still getting all of the power. Braking input is great. Really, really solid brakes. They perform well. I feel like I'm driving a little Baja truck because you got the full doors, you're sealed kind of in. You feel more protected when you're going through corners and you're really stirring stuff up, bouncing rocks off of trees. You're not getting anything coming back in. You're not getting dust swirling in. And especially if you come in contact with some trees or some sticks, which we have. I'm really enjoying this side-by-side. I like it a lot. And honestly, if I had to take like top 5 things I don't like, I couldn't give you 5. Feels great, it does what it's supposed to, and I'll tell you what, in the 60-inch category right now, I'm not sure what holds a candle to this thing.
It's like Can-Am was able to hit the wheelbase, width, and suspension marks perfectly to provide an incredibly stable, yet trailable width that's not too much and conversely not too little. The 75 horsepower from the 1000 is good, but the extra 25 ponies from the 1000R, it's where I feel at home. Not sacrificing anything and really giving you enough usable power to not just feel like there's something left in every situation, but still accelerate hard while heading up in the mountains. The Fox Podium 2.0 shocks are soaking up a world of abuse, and I've not found the bottom yet. Is that the 12 inches of ground clearance or the expertly set up suspension with the 12 inches out back and 11.5 up front? Nah, I guess it's truly the harmony of both. If you hid the brand name of this side-by-side from me and told me to go push the limits, I gotta be honest, I'd argue that it's the best performing, most comfortable 60-inch side-by-side that I have ever got behind the wheel of, with build quality and refinements that are hard to match. Thanks for watching this Dirt Track segment. Make sure you hit the subscribe button where you can watch pretty much anything related to ATV and side-by-sides.